like to call this meeting of the Board of Education to order. Chris, could you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Detzel?
Here.
Mr. Engel?
Here.
Mr. Yoshimura?
Here.
Mr. Gilbert?
Here.
Mr. Detzel?
Here.
Would you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Going to take just a second here, technical difficulties.
Oh, now it's your turn out, buddy.
Mine did the same thing I did.
It's thinking.
It's thinking.
It's thinking.
Well,
Try to shut it down and start over.
yeah, I did that.
He was just here. The tech was just here.
I'll hit the restart program. Try that. Mine did the same thing. There you go.
Hit it again.
That should work.
You can't get on. Guy comes in late, and then he delays everything.
Everyone has received a copy of the meeting minutes from the March 12th meeting. Do I have a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved in second. Are there any additions or corrections to the meeting minutes? Okay, Chris, could you call the roll, or call for the vote?
We go up in there. I can't get on.
Join meeting. You have to join. You have to join the meeting.
Oh, boy, and I'm still in the, let's see. Okay, I'm happy. Everybody's happy.
Okay, motion passes 5-0. Now, we are going to move right into our Winter Sports Awards special recognition. Dustin?
At this time, we'll have Dustin Gehring, in charge of Student Services, come up and do his presentation.
Good evening, everyone. We wanted to change some things up and find a way to get more and more students up here to celebrate. So Mr. Bowen and I kind of talked about some different options of ways to bring us up. And so our athletic directors have taken some in that direction and have done a fantastic job of ensuring that we get a chance to celebrate some of our athletes. This particular meeting, we're celebrating our winter athletes. So I'm going to turn things first over to Mr. Yulin, our athletic director from Corrigan High School.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. First, I would like to congratulate everyone else in the room that will be recognized tonight. Whether you're a league champion or a state qualifier, it is a tremendous accomplishment for you, your school, and your community. First, from Colerain High School, we would like to introduce Ivan Pace Jr. Please come up. Ivan is currently a junior at Colerain High School and a 3-year varsity wrestler. He finished the season with a record of 30-7 in the 220-pound weight class, including a first-place finish in the GMC tournament. Ivan went on to finish as a sectional runner-up and qualified for the district tournament. As a GMC champion, Ivan will have his name hung in Colerain High School's wrestling room, joining other league champions. Ivan is coached by head coach Carl Huber, who is here tonight, and we look forward to Ivan's senior year next year as a wrestler and a member of the football team. Congratulations, Ivan.
So we're going to do a picture here, and then as soon as the two schools are done presenting, everyone's going to go into the lobby to take a picture, and it's also your exit. All right. Smile. Right, good.
All right, next from oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just love clapping, that's all. It's a great honor.
Next from Coleraine High School, we have Griffin Bachman. You want to come to the front? Griffin is a senior and a four-year varsity swimmer. He is a four-year district qualifier. This was his first year as a state qualifier. Griffin's two main events are the 100-meter backstroke and the 100-meter butterfly. After finishing 10th at this year's district tournament, Griffin qualified for his first trip to a state meet, where he ultimately finished 24th in the state. Griffin holds both school records in the 100-meter backstroke and the 100-meter butterfly at Coleraine High School. Griffin is coached by head coach Stacy Tepe. Upon graduation, Griffin will swim at the University of the Cumberlands in the fall. Congratulations, Griffin. And our last senior from Coleraine High School is Haley Trotter. Haley is a senior and a four-year varsity swimmer. She's a four-year district qualifier and a four-year state qualifier. Her two main events are the 100-meter backstroke and the 200-meter individual medley. During her 17-18 campaign this year, she was the GMC runner-up in both events. She was a sectional runner-up. She qualified for her fourth trip to state and ultimately finished 17th in backstroke and 24th in the IM. Haley holds both school records in the 100-meter backstroke and the 200-meter IM. She is coached by head coach Stacy Tepe, and upon graduation, Haley will swim at the Florida Atlantic University in the fall. Congratulations, Haley. Thank you.
All right, as we spoke of before, upon completion of the two awards, we'll have everyone come out to the front for a picture. So we'll do that work. Now I'd like to turn things over to Mr. Brad Watkins from Northwest High School.
First off, I want to say thank you for having us tonight. It's a great opportunity to showcase the fine student athletes and coaches at Northwest High School. Again, I'm Brad Watkins, the very proud athletic director at Northwest High School. We had a tremendous winter sports season this year. Very proud of the way our student athletes, again, and our coaches represented Northwest High School across Southwest Ohio. Some of the accomplishments that we're going to share with you tonight is a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work from a lot of people, parents included. I went around last week and said to all of our winter sports athletes during our award ceremonies how much time is put in. No one really realizes how much time is put in, on the forefront of competition. And really, this is a reflection of the time and the preparation and the character of our coaches, our student athletes, and our parents at Northwest High School to have this amount of success. The first group I'm going to recognize this evening, and I'm going to ask that head coach Nick Argentati come up, is our boys basketball program. Coach Argentati, along with our seniors, is Mike here? Okay. Senior captain Caleb Williams led our squad to their fourth consecutive league championship this year. So Caleb, please come up as well. You need to be up here. Coach Argentati is a tremendous coach, tremendous leader, has done a tremendous job of making sure our athletes are in a position to compete each and every week. Again, 4 straight SWAC titles. Caleb is a 2-time All-SWAC conference honoree. Oh.
You're okay. It was mine.
Caleb earned first team honors this season as a senior. Very proud of that. And again, a part of a senior class that has won a conference title each of their 4 years. So congratulations, guys. We very much appreciate your hard work and effort. The next group I'm going to have up here is girls basketball. Coach Johnson, Maya, and Santi, why don't you guys come up? Coach Anthony Johnson is joined up here this evening by senior captain Maya Chapman, who earned all league honors this year, and junior standout Santi Williams. This one's a cool one. And you know, Coach Argentati has had a tremendous amount of success the last 4 years that he's been here. Coach Johnson joined us, so this is his second year at Northwest High School. And man, what a steal. We were able to get Coach Johnson. You know, we didn't really have an idea of where we were going to go with our coaching search. I'll be real honest with you. It was a late coaching search cycle. You know, I would have liked to got things done a little earlier than what we did, but Coach came up and, you know, he landed in our lives, and what a tremendous job he's done, impacting this team and impacting our building. Coach is just, I can't say enough about how honored I am to be around this guy and know that our kids are around him, leading. The accomplishments this year, this is our first SWAC title since 2008. That's a huge one. Go ahead and give that a round of applause. And Maya and another senior are the only two that we're losing off this team, which is going to be a lot of fun moving forward to next year. Some individual success. Coach Johnson was named SWAC Coach of the Year. He was also voted Southwest District 16 Division II Coach of the Year. And not only leading our team to a SWAC title, but 2 awesome tournament wins, getting us to the sectional finals, and we eventually lost to Roger Bacon. But the atmosphere and the winning that we've got going in this program right now is contagious, and it's a lot of fun to be around. Junior, Santi Williams, was the 2018 SWAC Player of the Year. This will be her 3rd year in a row on an all-SWAC team, earning second team honors last year, honorable mention as a freshman, and first team honors obviously this year. She was also named to the District 16 Division II first team. So. Maya was the second team, or was our senior captain, all-SWAC academic team, and second team all-SWAC, but the claim to fame, Maya, was that buzzer beater in the second round of the tournament with 0 time on the clock. She gets up and pulls a 3 to win by 1, and it was the coolest thing. If anyone has footage of that, you'll see Brad Watkins darting across the court and hugging Maya's mom and dad and everyone else. If you were at that game, you got a hug from Brad Watkins that night because it was awesome. So, guys, thank you very much. Looking forward to the future. So, thank you.
Coach.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead to boys bowling.
Congratulations. Good job, Coach.
It's a pleasure, man. It's good to see you. Good job.
Coach Terrence Johnson, our head boys bowling coach, couldn't be here this evening, but I am going to recognize 2 of our captains, Aaron Schaus and Daniel Gross. You guys can come up. These young men had a tremendous season in winning the SWAC again this year. This is their 5th SWAC championship in a row. Very, very talented boys bowling program, again, led by Coach Terrence Johnson. These guys have done some tremendous things at the Alley. We've seen the 300 game this year. We've seen a lot of success. It's been a lot of fun. So congratulations, guys.
Good job, guys.
Can you teach me how to bowl?
Coach Tepe, is Elijah here? He is not. Okay. I am going to go ahead and recognize Elijah, though. Coach, you want to come on out? We're in a unique situation. We've got a lot of Northwest family in this room because Coach Tepe, not only is she the head coach at Coleraine High School, but she's also the head coach at Northwest High School and just does a fantastic job of really building a family atmosphere and a competitive culture. Coach Tepe was able to, you've known Elijah, right? Swam club for you? And he was looking for a home. His home school doesn't have a swim team. He lives in our district and was able to get him on as a Knight this year. And Elijah did a tremendous job of breaking every record that stands at Northwest High School.
Except for one.
Except for one. So poor Alex Cly. Poor Alex Cly, but records are made to be broken. Elijah represented our team well at the SWAC this year, earning some second team honors, but also advancing to the district meet, which is a tremendous honor. The records that he broke at Northwest are as follows: the 50 free, the 100 free, the 200 free, the 100 backstroke, and the 100 butterfly. Wow. So, congratulations. Last but certainly not least, Coach Wheelwright, going to step up. Girls bowling. I'd like to invite Jenna and Sophia. Jenna here? Nope. Sophie is. Coach Jack Wheelwright has done something I can't really put into words as far as success goes in our conference. This girls bowling team has never lost a league match. So since 2013, they have gone undefeated in the SWAC.
Do the wood.
I got it. Have gone undefeated in SWAC play. So needless to say, they've won their 6th consecutive SWAC title this year. Coach Wheelwright, believe it or not, this is his first time that he won SWAC Coach of the Year. And it guided Miss Fisher here to just an unbelievable season. Sophia is a 3-time first-team All-SWAC selection as a junior. She is, yep, that's pretty good. She also qualified for the state tournament this year as an individual qualifier, was the high qualifier coming out of districts with, and correct me if I'm wrong here, the 3 games that got you to state were 202, 264, 264?
No, 202, 262, 262. I appreciate the 4 extra pages.
That's cool. Regardless, numbers anyone in here probably hasn't seen before. And it's a lot of fun watching Sophia bowl. She's a true competitor. She is very competitive and is a tremendous leader for our team. She did come out of the state tournament placing 7th overall, which earned her 2nd team All-Ohio honor. So congratulations. Guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Lord, for having us,
Great
taking this
season.
moment to
Good luck
recognize
next
you
year.
guys. Doing a great
Good
job.
job, Coach.
So I will have all the athletes and all the families. You guys can get out for the front. We're going to take pictures. I'll be step outside. You're going to finish a big group.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach.
Come on out, everybody.
Real quick, on behalf of the board, we want to congratulate all of you. This is great to see this room packed with all of you, and we're looking for the ones moving on next year. We wish you good luck, and for all those juniors, we can't wait to see you back here next year. Congratulations.
Hey, Brad. Greg, thanks. Winston.
see you. Here's a softball player. Remember him?
Yeah.
He was hard-nosed, too. See you, Coach.
Okay, at this time, we'll move into, Joe, do you have a legislative update?
There are no legislative information at all.
Okay, thank you. And Mark will do student achievement.
Great. Tonight we have a student and learning team presentation, also known as a SALT report. Tonight we have Doug Ficker, social studies teacher from Northwest High School. He will discuss the connection between a blended learning approach and a project-based learning. He has brought the following students with him: Sarah Reed and Sean Abney.
Hi, thank you for the privilege of speaking with you. I'm just going to give a brief overview of what my teaching partner and I, Brett Van Gasbeck, the approach we take to teach in our blended class. Sarah's going to talk about how it helps her as a learner and so forth, and then Sean's going to show a website he put together for our presidential project. But my teaching partner and I, Brett Van Gasbeck, we've been working together for a good 6-7 years, and we teach a blended class, which probably most of you know is an environment where we put our classes together in one of the big blended labs, and then we teach together, which I really enjoy him. He's a good friend of mine, and we also play to each other's strengths. But one of the things we like to do, and last year we made the official switch to doing hardly any, I know this is probably not educationally sound to say, but hardly doing any paper-based assessment and switching mainly to either project-based or problem-based learning, where we have the kids work together and they show us what they've learned. And last year, like I said, we kept our fingers crossed because we teach juniors and they have to take the state exam, the government state exam. And I'm proud to say that last year, out of all of the tests and all the disciplines, even though we tested the kids way less than all the other teachers, we actually had the highest scores on our achievement tests in our entire building. So the students really buy into this. And in government, what we like to do is to have them really play the part of what it's like to be a government official. So when we just got done doing the Supreme Court. We put them in groups of 9 based on their interest in some cases, and we looked at some cases that haven't been decided by the Supreme Court yet. And there's 9 judges on the Supreme Court, so they argued amongst each other, amongst the facts, who should win and so forth. And as a teacher, I can tell them about each case, and it seems like with this generation, the more I talk, the less they learn. So the more they do, the more they learn. And like I said, last year we really made the switch, and we conscientiously do a lot more projects. But that's our philosophy. We feel it works for us. We don't hear any complaints from the students, and those of you that have raised teenagers know if you don't hear complaints, then everything's probably going okay. So I'll hand it over to Sarah Reed, and she's going to talk about her experiences in our class.
I have never had a class quite like the one I have with Mr. Ficker and Mr. Van Gasbeck. For starters, our class is 2 groups of students combined into one. At the beginning of the year, Mr. Van Gasbeck's class, my original class, had slightly less than 20 students, while Mr. Ficker's had around 30. It was decided pretty early in the year these classes would be combined to form a much larger one. This large amount of students, combined with our near constant access to technology, has changed how the classroom is run. For example, our class is often split into 3 groups, and then we are rotated between 3 separate rooms. In each room, we cover different topics. So in one room, we might learn about the Electoral College and how it functions. In another, we might learn about a presidential campaign. And in another, we might learn about our rights and amendments. This makes it easier to learn things quickly and efficiently. Also, a majority of our classwork is online, so this means that students don't lose papers, and it makes it easier for both the students and our teachers to access and do the work. But out of all this, the biggest difference is the lack of testing in class. Instead of learning material and then taking several tests on it, we learn our coursework and then do a big project. These projects, such as creating a presidential campaign, which for me meant writing 2 speeches, or running a simulation of Congress in class, which for us meant writing bills and then voting as a class to pass them. And then those bills potentially have changed parts of our school. So these projects are like a culmination of what we spent weeks learning, whether we learned that through doing group work or doing individual work on our computers. And I find all these projects especially helpful. Personally, I'm not a good test taker, and I know I'm not the only person like this in class. I stress and panic over tests, and it can negatively affect my grade. But in comparison, I do very well with projects. Projects are much easier for me, and they help me understand what we're learning. And with a project, I can put my knowledge to use in a way I can't just do with a test. Projects help students understand and accurately show how much they understand about what they've been learning. And it also shows teachers what students need help with or might not understand. This program has benefited me immensely, and I'm sure it's benefited other students as well. I believe that implementing a system like this in other classes will better the school as a whole, and it has certainly made me a stronger and more enthusiastic student. Thank you for your time.
Well, I just want to start out by saying how I got to do the project. It was like, we started out by doing like a survey to see which projects we would do, or like the president we would choose to do it on. And I firstly got to do Donald Trump because of the stuff I filled out, so, yeah, just trying to think. So
you're replacing a group with other Trump supporters. It was they're running a 2020 campaign. So what we did was we took the students and we had them choose who they would, if they could run a campaign for anybody, who would it be? So all the people that chose Donald Trump, would work together in a group, and then each group had its own. They had to figure out, okay, who's going to write the speeches? That's what Sarah was talking about. That's her strength. Who's going to do the campaign
And
swag,
I did
the shirts,
the
and the
website.
hats, and so forth.
And like I put it all together in one, basically.
And tell everybody why you chose to do the website.
Because I'm good at it, and I was going to code it, but it would take forever. So yeah, I just chose Wix and dimmed it down a little bit.
And Sean whipped this up in like the first day of the project. He came in the next day. He goes, "Well, Mr. Ficker, I'm done with the website." And I was amazed. And then I thought maybe he had one page. Oh no, he had several pages done.
So, trying to think. Okay, so I kind of made it like trying to think of a good word to say. I guess to like make Donald Trump like look good, I guess. I don't know, just go to the campaign swag, you know what I'm talking about.
Sit up far right, Chris. Campaign swag.
Swag, like, that's to like, you can see I made it out of stock because nobody wants to buy it.
Not because it's sold out.
Yeah. And I put like 2020 and 2016 because that could help, you know.
Can you tell them why you chose Wix as the website design?
Yeah, it's really easy to use, that's why.
And doesn't it have something to do with e-commerce too, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Or
you don't have to like code that or anything, that's why. And if you click on it, just one of those, yeah, it's just out of stock so nobody can buy it.
But these are the things that his group mates put together, and then he put them on the website here.
Yeah.
Including some of the speeches and then the campaign strategy and so forth.
Yeah, so another thing I said about how I'd make him president is like I go for the bigger red states first and like Texas and stuff like that. And then just go for those, and if we can't win them, just go for swing states, you know. So yeah.
There's a campaign strategy map on here.
It's just go to pages. Hit cancel, and then go to page. Yeah, you can go to that, and then no. Go where it says page and product page.
Up at the very
up there.
Do you want to do it, Sean?
No, yeah, right there, and then go hit the one. Yeah, right there. Yeah, And then like, that's my slogan. I like that. Yeah. Like just making.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I put it E.
And then,
Yeah.
well, he saw it make some additions to it. Like, this is their electrical college map that they made. So the other group members had to, he was way ahead of them, and all the other group members had to come. They're like, well, guess we better do our stuff now. So they brought their stuff in, and then, their maps and their t-shirts and their hats and stuff that they designed, and then Sean put that on the website. So we had to sit there and patiently wait, tap his fingers, and wait for them to get finished with all of theirs. And then once they were all done, then the groups came together and showed us, the whole class, how they would, what they put together, their speeches and their strategies and so forth.
That's all I can think of right now.
I just want to say real quick, Sarah, you might not be a good test taker, but you're an excellent speaker.
I'm
Great
not.
job. Sean, you might get a little nervous speaking, but I guarantee there's not anybody else in the audience that can do what you just did.
Okay.
And that's going to go further because that's our future. So that
Yeah.
you did an excellent job. An excellent job.
Thank you.
So I think that shows. Great job, both of you. Great report tonight. Okay, Jim Butler Tech.
Yeah, Kristen Everdecker's here. I believe you guys have a report tonight. Kristen is our supervisor from Butler Tech.
Good evening. We're very excited to be here again this month to share a little bit. I'll give you a little update with things with Butler Tech, what's going on, and then I'm going to turn it over to our great students from Northwest High School and our construction program. Just a couple highlights that have gone on in the last month. We've had one of our teachers from Colerain High School named Teacher of the Year, Mr. Dave Campbell. He'll be recognized this summer, which is awesome. We were just interviewed from the Wall Street Journal this week from our machining program, and hopefully when that comes out, we'll share about the amazing opportunities that our machining program at Colerain High School is also doing. And so I'm excited to share that as soon as that comes out. As far as incoming sophomores right now, incoming juniors, our sophomore class, we have accepted, as of this past Friday, 125 Northwest High School sophomores into the Butler Tech programs, both here on site and at our campuses. And from Colerain High School, we have accepted 248 incoming juniors to our Butler Tech program. So a little bit over half of the students, which is going to be great opportunities for those students. And again, those are both programs here, like Mr. Kelly's at Northwest High School and Colerain High School, and then at our campuses. So with that, I'm going to introduce Mr. Donnie Kelly. This is his second year leading the Northwest Construction Program. It is a 2-year program that students have the opportunity to participate in, and I'll let him introduce his students. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you, members of the board and other dignitaries. But I think somebody over there running the clicker, the mouse. Who's got that? I've got something for you.
Well, you actually have.
Oh, I've got it? Okay. Well, that's even better. Okay. So this is Noah Hill and Josh Sebastian. Noah is a junior, and I had him last year in my intro class. And Josh, my first time with him was as a junior. And these guys are doing a fabulous job along with all of our students, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them. I think that they're ready. All right, here we go, guys.
Okay. Skilled trade workers are in high demand. Currently, there is only one skilled trade worker to enter the field for every 5 that exit the field.
A couple of the things I like about becoming a skilled worker is building something that can last for generations, and I can be part of a team.
I have made new friends, and we are sharing experiences that we will never forget.
One of our achievements this year is earning our OSHA 10 certification. Many employers require works to have this credential.
We also earn industry-recognized credentials through NCCER, the National Center for Construction Education.
Employers can verify through the NCCER database what skills modules we have completed.
Coming into the construction lab is one of my favorite times of the day. I look forward to putting on my tools and starting new projects that Mr. Kelly has for us to do.
Next, we would like to share some of the photos from this year's.
I don't know if we can choose that hyperlink the way this is set up, but can we? Anybody know? Oh, somebody's got it.
Yeah, we can.
There we go. We'll just blast through these real quick, and I'll give some real fast commentary. I probably put too many pictures in there, and I don't want to take up too much time. Yeah, if you can just click on that first photo right there. These guys are super dedicated, and you're going to see a lot more than just these two gentlemen right here. But we actually started on our castle project before the school year even started. So if you want to just go ahead and start clicking. And that's them continuing to work on that. Just keep blasting through, and you'll see these guys. And all of this, Mr. Big Noah here, he would go to his two-a-day football practices, and then as soon as football practice is over, he would come over and put on his tool belt and jump right up there. And one of the things I'd like to keep going, that's why I brag about Mr. Sebastian here, is that between his junior and senior year in school, I was able to place him with a fantastic remodeling contractor in the area, where they're paying him $12 an hour in the summer as a student that's just completed his first year. So I've got high expectations for all these kids. This is us at a career day that a local company puts on. You can keep going. These guys get to run equipment. They get to, can you flip back one? Really proud of this young man. He graduated last year and then came in to visit us all. So that's Mason Seibel, and he's currently in Hawaii. So he wound up pulling a pretty good detail there. Okay, hit the next one. This is some of our intro kids, and these are some benches that we built, and this is just us being happy, and we're a big family. This is a project we were doing over at White Oak Middle. Keep blasting. You go fast. All right. So yeah, this is the base of the tiny house we just put together. Kids working on it. They come in, they're ready to go. So they throw on their boots and get out their tool belts, and they burn through lots and lots of lumber. Home and Garden Show, which has been our crowning jewel maybe so far this year. I don't know. Maybe the castle. I don't know. But Home and Garden Show is another one of our industry partners. We joined them down there. This is our second year in a row, and it's a lot of fun. The kids get to come out and be with lots of other contractors in the area and watch this pretty big blank slate just get turned into a small city, in the course of like 3 or 4 working days. So it's my great pleasure to be with these guys, and we want to thank you all for all of your support.
I got a quick question for the guys. What's been your favorite project so far that you've worked on?
Where are you?
For me, it would be the Home and Garden Show. I really did like building that pavilion and how it was so much bigger than everybody else's and how long it took. Complex.
So far, my favorite project would be the shed up at White Oak Middle, because we got to do train away.
Okay. I will say we went to the Home and Garden Show, and it was by far the best. It was excellent. And if any of you haven't had a chance, stop up at Northwest High School and see that castle. It is so cool. They did a great job.
And that tiny house that they're building.
Yeah.
So,
Some talented kids.
great job. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. Okay, at this time, we'll move into reports from employee organizations. Is there anyone here from certificated or licensed? How about classified? Do we have any reports from school-related organizations? I have received 2 requests for community comments. So the first one is Aaron Knox regarding Pleasant Run Farms and Welch neighborhood. Aaron, if you'd like to come up.
Good evening to you all. My name is Erin Knox. I reside at 1832 Claiborne Circle. I have been a resident of Pleasant Run Farms for the past 13 years. Excuse me. If you are familiar with Dr. Seuss's story of the Lorax, you will know that the plot revolves around the struggles of a speck that is the home of an entire community of who's and their survival. Horton, the elephant, tries to convince the villains in the story that the people on this speck exist. It's not until they all come together as one voice and speak as a group that their chants of "we are here" are heard and the community is saved. I am here with my neighbors to tell you that we are here and we don't want to be forgotten. I am a school teacher in a neighboring district, and my 2 sons spent their primary years at Welch. Their time there was a great success, and we loved having a neighborhood school for them to attend. With the closing of Welch, Pleasant Run Farms is losing part of our identity. Our school is important to us, and it provides us with a sense of pride. I will miss seeing our young neighbors walking home from school, the annual carnival, and I might even miss the backup of traffic on Deerhorn Drive. Maybe. There's great excitement for new school buildings in our district, and I'm sure they will be amazing, and our PRF students will benefit greatly from them. However, I ask the Board of Education to not forget about Pleasant Run Farms. Our neighborhood is a great place to live and raise families. We take great pride in our neighborhood. When we talk about it, we say we live in the farms with capital letters, capital T, capital F. Our neighbors are friendly, our yards and homes are well taken care of, and crime is low. People watch out for one another. Please do not forget about us. We are here. Remember that the farms has produced some of the best and brightest students in your classrooms and has turned out some of the greatest talent on your soccer fields, baseball diamonds, and swimming pools. 2 of the names that were mentioned tonight, Alex Cly and Elijah O'Connor, the one who set all those records, they are both residents of Pleasant Run Farms. Please do not forget that we are here, nestled in our little corner of Springfield Township. We support you financially, and we support you at the polls. Please remember that we are here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have Monica Bowles, homeowner, Pleasant Run Farms Civic Association, PTA.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to make an assumption that there's a person or 2 here from the farms tonight. You know? Couple things. I wanted to mention to you all, some of you already know, I know I've talked to quite a few people today. There's also been some messages sent and some social media posts. I did speak with Mr. Bowling this morning. We talked, and there is not going to be a program called Connections run out of Welch. It is my understanding there will not be any program run out of Welch Elementary, and that the property is going to be demolished, as we were told, for several months. So I think that's really good news. I think to Aaron's point, it's really hard to come up after that, but you see the sense of pride in our community. Our community, I feel, is very reflective of our district, of our diversity in our district, racially, socioeconomically. We have blue collar, white collar, we have professionals. You know, we've got a doctor, we've got engineers, we've got everything, educators, everything you can imagine under the sun. And I think that that is really a reflection of the strong sense of community that we have. But really, that reflects our district too. And, you know, I know that there was some apprehension from a lot of people, even from some folks up here. I know I tend to ruffle feathers. I know that's not easy for people to deal with me. But you all know what drives me, and that is a sense of community. Children drive me. You know, I have a child in the district. I care very much about education. It is something I'm extremely passionate about. I am from Springfield Township. I was actually born in Pittsburgh. But I was raised in Springfield Township, and then after college, I came back to the community. So with that, I want to say that it makes me very, very happy to see so many people here that care. This isn't just for the folks here at Pleasant Run Farms. This is for everybody. I think we all need to remember why we're here, and that is to educate our children at the end of the day, all of our children. They all matter. They all look up to us for the example, how we live, how we communicate, how we interact with each other, how we collaborate in the decisions that we make, how we try to be inclusive in those decisions that we make or not. Our children are always watching us with every little thing that we do. We have opportunities here to make some changes. We have opportunities to come together. We have opportunities to bridge gaps. And I just hope we take advantage of them. I hope we all stay involved. I hope we continue to come to civic association meetings, to Board of Education meetings, whatever committees come out of our district. I hope we're supportive of our teachers. With all that, I'm not going to say too much more because I think the presence here says a lot. I want to run a few things by you. I received, I don't know, it's probably been about 120 pictures from various members of the community of prideful things that people wanted to show off, from their kids to activities that they're involved with in our community. I want you guys to know that Pleasant Run Farms is a vibrant community. Currently, all homes that we have in the market that are for sale are all under contract. Remaining foreclosed homes, which are few, have immediate buyers once they're out of the court process. Pleasant Run Farms, you guys heard a little bit about that from Aaron. We have baseball and soccer fields. We have a very active athletic association. Everybody that runs that, no one's paid. We have our own swim club, again, full of volunteers. We have a large pool. We have a baby pool. We have a toddler pool. We have a concession stand. In spite of dwindling membership, and certainly there have been changes in our community, just like any other community, because of the Great Recession. We have prevailed through all of that. We're still here. We are partnered. The Pleasant Run Farm Civic Association is now a partner with Welch Elementary again. We're so very happy that that relationship was restored thanks to Mr. Bowling last year. We host community-wide events. We have an Easter egg hunt coming up this Sunday. We have an annual 4th of July parade that we partner with Springfield Township on every year. We've reinstated Holiday on the Farms, a Christmas celebration. We have an annual garage sale. We typically participate in the Great American Cleanup, try to keep our neighborhood clean and surrounding areas. We have so many other activities. We believe that there is a strong demand for homes in Pleasant Run Farms, especially ranch-style homes. There is a big demand for those. We have several realtors in our community. One is actually a board member. She's not here tonight. I don't know if any of you all know my background, but I've worked in housing for over 20 years in various capacities. I've had calls about my own house, and it's not even on the market. We believe that patio homes would be an ideal area for our property at Welch. We believe that we can use our seniors, many of whom are aging out. We think a lot of them will actually move into the community. We would love to see them stay. Patio homes are a good product for seniors and for other families that simply don't want to deal with yard work. I want to reiterate to Aaron's point, we have a high voter turnout in Pleasant Run Farms specifically. Pleasant Run Farms passes levies. We have been working very hard on a presentation to bring to the board tonight. We're not going to present that presentation. I don't think there's a need for it now because I think we all are happy with the decision that was made. But I'm still going to put this presentation together because I think it really speaks to the testament and to the testimony of so many people in our community. We're going to post it on the website, so if any of you want to ever take a look at it, you can. So I just want to say, in closing, we're really happy to be working with Mr. Bowling, with the board. We're happy about the possibilities with Pleasant Run in the future. We're sad to see our little school go, but at the same time, we're excited about the new school, Pleasant Run Elementary, and we look forward to a lot of community involvement. Just like we've had historically with Welch, we hope to build a lot of new nice memories at Pleasant Run Elementary as well, and maybe we can have some athletes and other superstars coming out of our district. So with that, I just want to thank the board for allowing me to speak. I want to thank all the people that are here from the community because I know you all could have been doing far more other things than coming out here. And I just want to encourage everybody to continue to stay involved with your community on every level, not just the school board, but everything. Because we are a community and we matter. And with that said, I just want to say have a nice evening, and thanks for coming out.
We have one more. I'm going to go ahead and allow it, but honestly, board policy only allows a 30-minute for things, so it'll have to be kind of short.
And Pam, before we go on for Monica, a couple things, just since there's a lot of Pleasant Run Farm. I will be at the board meeting tomorrow night. I've been told 7 o'clock at John Wesleyan. Talked to Skip. He's already invited us over. I won't have any different news than I had 8 months ago. Tonight, we pass a resolution to go through the 60-day process with charter schools. We fully expect none whatsoever will show any interest. That's not our choice to do that. That's state law and state guidelines our attorney tells us we have to do. Then you go through a 30-day process of auction. We don't expect anything to happen there. Also had a conversation with Springfield Township about them possibly purchasing and taking over the property. So at that point, there was concerns a while back that, well, we want houses there too, but can you promise there won't be certain kind? And Springfield Township would control the zoning over that, not the school district. So just an FYI.
And Emily, I've just got to limit the amount of time. Okay, but no problem. So this is Emily Buckley discussing redistricting of Colerain Elementary.
Hi, my name is Emily Buckley. I have 2 kids at Colerain Elementary. One is a first grader this year, one's a 5th grader. I'm here with my husband and some people that live in my neighborhood. We live in the area that is affected by the redistricting, so our children would be sent to Taylor next year, dependent on your vote tonight. This year was their first year at Colerain Elementary, and we are so happy with them there. We love the teachers, we love the community. I'm from the west side, and I don't know if any of you are, but when people say, where did you go to school? They're not talking about where did you go to college. They're saying, what community are you from? And I'm proud to say my kids go to Colerain Elementary. Like I said, we love the families there. We love the community. We were really blindsided by the redistricting. We're not comfortable with the move to move our kids to Taylor. From what I understand, this small portion that's being moved only affects 25 students in my area. And we would like to, consider you, or we would like for you to consider reversing your decision to move our area to Taylor. We've looked at, the crime maps in the area. We're not comfortable with the safety of the surrounding area. That's why we chose the house we did 5 years ago. We knew our kids would go to Colerain Elementary, and we were very comfortable with that. A lot of people in my neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods who live in the affected area The homeowners who also do not have children that go to Colerain were also upset about the redistricting news. They felt that as homeowners, they should have been made aware that this was going to happen.
Yes, so basically there's several of us here from different neighborhoods that are affected. And our sentiment, I think we know is the same because we've spoken to these people. And we were just here tonight to represent our little niche of our neighborhood, but there's some others here. I don't know if they, we weren't aware of the process here, so we're just trying to get our point across, not necessarily changing process. But the crime map, it's disappointing, and it's I understand that the new school's got things in place to try to prevent anyone from entering the school, but it's more than that. It's I don't necessarily want my wife over in that area picking those kids up and things like that. So it's more than just once the kids are inside the building, they're safe. I understand that that's probably the case, but not only that, it's they've got the friends now that they're getting. Some of them are going to be torn from. My daughter just made new friends, and it's all of a sudden she's going to be ripped from them. The other thing is my son. He's going to be at the middle school next year, so he'll stay at the Colerain Elementary campus. My daughter will be away from him at the new campus. It's just a bad situation for our household, and I think there's some others that are in a similar situation. But we were told that the numbers of enrollment are declining for the district, and if that's the case, and we're talking about 20 kids here, is it really necessary to move that location? And we know at least 3 of them, actually 4 next year, that won't be there anyway. So the number's probably closer to 15 or less. So that's what we're asking for.
Okay. Thank you. Just a quick comment before we go on. I would like to thank everybody from coming here, and I do recognize some Pleasant Run Farm faces. I actually grew up in Pleasant Run Farms. Actually was there before Welch was even built, and then they kept telling us there was going to be a school there someday, and by the time I think I was in high school, it came along. So it's nice to hear that the Christmas, I'm assuming you're referring to the luminary, is back. That was always something so special with that community, and the 4th of July parades and so on and so forth. So I appreciate all of you being here, and both Monica and Aaron sharing your thoughts, as well as Emily as well. So at this time, we will move, Todd, we'll go into the financial report for the treasurer, actually.
All right, next is approval of superintendent's consent items. The first item is a fiscal item, financial reports of the treasurer, February 2018. The treasurer and superintendent recommend the Board of Education approve the financial reports as listed.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second, and are there any questions? Okay, Chris? Motion passes 5-0.
The next item is certificated licensed personnel item, certificated licensed personnel retirements and resignations. Superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the certificated licensed personnel retirements and resignations as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Questions regarding the certificated and licensed personnel retirements and resignations? Motion passed 5-0.
Next item is a classified personnel item, classified retirements and resignations. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the classified retirements and resignations as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Questions regarding classified retirements or resignations? Okay, Chris? Motion passed 5-0.
Next item is a general business item. It is a resolution for the disposal of real property, Welch Elementary and Pleasant Run Elementary Schools. This will give us 90 days in order to follow state guidelines and the law. At the end of 90 days, we have already bid out and secured prices for the demolition cost of Welch and Pleasant Run. So this is following state guidelines. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the resolution to dispose of the real property identified as Welch Elementary and Pleasant Run Elementary Schools per ORC 3313.41.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Questions regarding this resolution? Chris? Motion passed 5-0.
Next item is a general business item also. It is redistricting resolution, a resolution approving the attendance areas and redistricting guidelines. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the attached resolution approving the attendance areas and the redistricting guidelines as listed. The only change from the last meeting was the Hanley area will now attend Struble Elementary School per recommendation of the committee.
There's a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? I would like to, my comment is there was a lot of time that was taken with our administrators, went out to each one of the school sites, had committee meetings. That's how I think things were determined with Hanley, what would work best. And there was a lot of input. I know we got feedback from parents. All that was shared with the committee. Okay. Chris? Motion passes 4-1.
Next item is certificated license personnel items. Real quickly, there are a couple resolutions on there that I want to make sure you are aware of. The following positions are subject to a RIF tonight, so I need you to understand what's going on. First are educational assistants. These are playground assistants. These positions will not be needed in the buildings next year. We have 4 people that currently hold these spots. Each of these employees was told in January that their positions will be eliminated, and they were encouraged to apply for other positions in our new elementary buildings. Of the 4 people, 1 is going to work in the cafeteria next year for Lisa Robeson. 1 is a bus driver and will remain a bus driver if she returns from leave. As of now, she has been out from the beginning of the year. 1 has been referred to Lisa for a possible position for next year, and the last has not expressed an interest in working. We also had a RIF as an out position. We only need 3 for next year, and we had 5. Again, we went from 5 elementaries to 3. That's why all these reductions are there. They're not reductions we're doing to take money. This is what happens, and we talked about it when you go from 5 schools to 3 elementaries. So I wanted to make sure you had a clear understanding of what was being recommended. So the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve certificated licensed personnel items as listed.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions regarding the certificated licensed personnel items? Good. Motion passed 5-0.
Next item is classified personnel items. Classified personnel items is the summary. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the classified personnel items as listed.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions regarding classified personnel items? Motion passed 5-0.
The next item is curriculum and instruction, curriculum adoptions, English language arts 3 through 5 and K through 5 music. This was for information at our last board meeting. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the new textbook programs as listed.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions regarding the curriculum adoptions for ELA 3 through 5 and K-5 music? Motion passed 5-0.
The next item is student services. It is a recommendation for our 2018-2019 dress code. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the 2018-19 dress code as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions regarding the 2018-19 dress code? Motion passed 5-0.
All right, my comments, I think some of the folks from the yacht club in that area left. I will still offer, and if any of you have connections, that they are more than welcome to tour Taylor Elementary currently as it stands. The principal or a teacher or anybody you would like who you feel would give you an unbiased opinion can talk to you, but we have had not one problem whatsoever with parents picking up or dropping off students. The new schools, and I don't know how we fix the others that aren't, but we have key situations in safety where we can lock stairways, we can lock hallways. You cannot get into those areas. We do not have bus issues. We are busing these students. Some of the kids we had here tonight, if you were here earlier for the presentation, are Taylor kids. They are awesome, phenomenal kids, and they will tell you they had a great education. So change is very tough, and I am willing to work with any of those folks we can. I will take them personally through tours, but if they're worried about a biased opinion, they can just go meet Trey. Lori Reilly will be the new principal of the new Taylor. She will gladly take them. And we can also do tours of the new building. These new buildings are fantastic. They're great for learning. But, you know, this hits home with some people, and it's not an easy thing. And, you know, it's very difficult, but it is a total of 54 people. It's not 12, it's not 15, and it would change the demographics of the new schools, like I explained in our weekly update. They get updates from me every week that tell them exactly what's going on. And to change those demographics would have changed staffing and everything else. So some of the excuses that we heard for not wanting was, I don't want my kids in that demographic, and I don't want my kid in that type of setting. It did not come from our two presenters, but it came from other people, and it is in the email. I kind of feel bad for those folks because all our kids learn. We will treat all demographics equally, and we will make sure they all learn at a high level. So it's not about that area to us if you're talking about safety. I mean, I guess we could worry about our bus drivers, but their lot is right there behind Taylor Elementary. They go to work every morning, get on their buses, and travel from there. It is not a safety issue. So, Daryl.
I appreciate the fact that so many people from the farms are here and you take such pride in saying that I'm from the farms. And Taylor, their school community is Northbrook. And that community has as much pride in Northbrook as you have in the farms. And they have an association that they have created around Northbrook. They meet quarterly, they bring in people. They have Paint the Town coming in to refurbish houses this summer. And so the pride that you show for the farms, I wish there was someone here from Northbrook who could express the same passion that you have, because they have the same passion for that neighborhood. So that community and that sense of community around our schools is strong everywhere, and it's as strong as around Taylor as it is around Welch, as it is around any one of our other schools. And I just think that's important to say for everyone in here to know that sense of pride is everywhere in our community.
Thanks, Daryl. Another thing I want to talk about is I have continued to have negotiations about school safety. When Amy and I attend meetings in Columbus and through my superintendent's meetings and through BASA, Buckeye Association of School Superintendents, we have legislators asking us, doesn't the county and doesn't the township provide resource officers for schools? No, they don't. That comes out of our funding. So I am in negotiations with the township to see if they can help out to protect our schools. To me, it's a win-win. Our school is located in each of these townships, and it directly affects all of us that we provide a safe environment. It is also a way to get some back of the money that we lost during the Rumpke TIF. So we have many ideas and thoughts that we will go and we will share with the township. I can go to the next meeting and do that if I need to. But I think that's very important. We do have that on our radar, and since we have a big group here, I'm kind of going to repeat some of the things that I said last week. The board has not brought to my attention, and I have not brought to them, that we want to arm teachers. We do not. There's too many issues associated with that, but we will do everything in our power to make our schools safer, we've had questions, why don't you put metal detectors? Well, kids want to feel safe. When I talk to my student groups at Colerain High School and Northwest High School, they laugh at that. And their comments are, we don't go to a penitentiary, we go to school. This is the safest place we do feel. So that's important to us. They have done a great job with the walkout that was on the 14th, which was after our last board meeting. They didn't walk out. I think the snow had a little bit to do with it. They wanted to go to the gym, and some of our student speakers who spoke at each of those and our administrators did a fabulous job and we're there for the right reasons. So very proud of our students. We're not going to let this go. We will continue to push for that. There has to be, when you have a $2 billion rainy day fund, and I cannot say this, $2 billion, not million, $2 billion, and the governor says he will not leave the next governor with nothing in his rainy day fund. Well, isn't that $2 billion that schools could use for safety? So we will continue to push. I've got board members who are on board and want to help. They've reached out to me. So we will continue to fight that battle and get more for our kids. But I wanted to let you know that while you're here, that those are some of the things we're looking for. Lastly, spring break is Monday, March 26th through Friday, March 30th. All buildings will be closed. So just want to bring that to your attention, and that's all I have.
Before we move into our second community comments, since there's so many of you here, just to let you know, it probably seemed like we kind of breezed through that voting on these items. All of us receive a copy of agenda last week, so we've read through all this. If there's any questions we have, we've already contacted Amy, Todd, Daryl, whoever we need to contact to get clarification. So we're not just showing up here tonight and just voting. There's dialogue that goes on prior to that, and we all, as our job, should be prepared to come into this meeting, know what the agenda is and what we need to do. So with that, this is the part of the meeting that if you have any questions about what was talked about at tonight's meeting, you could just raise your hand and ask from there. Yes?
I am unrelated to the couple that was here earlier about the districting, but a question I had was if there was an option for grandfathering, since these children will only be in this district for a short period of time, and then they'll be going on to middle school. Is that something that maybe?
Yes, we even said in our meetings, if you're a fourth grader, if you have fourth graders and there are surrounding issues that would make sense for that, yes, fill out an inter-district request form, send it directly to me, and we have had these conversations with several people. We have also talked that on these forms there's a chance to put, is there any emotional or social issues or things that are going on that we need to look at also. We're not just stubborn, we're not just stuck on a line, but yes, we would look at those.
Anybody else have any questions? Yes?
You mentioned for the Welch demolition, there's still a 30-day or there's a certain time period that
90 days.
90 days.
60 days for a charter school.
Has an opportunity to show express interest in the building. Does the initial interest from Warren County, does that fall under that charter school?
Warren County's interest originated from what was going on at Connection. So in our system, we get $6,200 roughly, Amy, from the state for each student's funding. So when we have a student who lives in our district, born here, raised here, who might have some special needs, to send them out to another district is $50,000 per place we send them. Warren County is here to see what we can do internally to keep those kids in our district. What do we have that we can, so the Connections program has worked out fantastically at Houston. Kids are going in and out, they're working hard within a 4 to 6 to 8, sometimes 10-week period, and not all, some are still there. They are transitioning back to the classroom and having great success. Some didn't make it in Connections, and it is best for them to go to an outside placement. But that's a very healthy expense for our district. $50,000 is a teacher. So they were walking through and have talked and worked with us. We outsource them right now to supply the teacher for Connection. So they are coming in, and what can we do to try to work with some of the needs of these kids? But Warren is not a charter school. They cannot purchase. Hamilton County is not a charter school. They cannot purchase. Butler County ESC cannot purchase. The only charter school that would have, we have 1 or 2 in the district, and neither one has any interest. We don't even think we'll get anything. Same with the auction.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say for the parents, my kids were supposed to do this, but then after he was closed and my kids were Taylor, they had the best education at Taylor. My daughter was a straight A student in 4th grade year. My son had A's and B's. They had the really best teachers that they had. I haven't had any issues with any of my teachers. Well, the whole time they've been doing Northwest 5th and 7th grade. So I just want to say, if you have apprehension, there should be. I don't live over in that area. I live close to it. But I've never had any issue with my house or going back and forth with it.
Thank
And
you.
that includes safety concerns for yourself.
Correct. I
Thank-
have never had any issue
Yeah.
with you.
Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm put a face with the name, I'm Bob Leopard. I just want to openly thank you guys for listening to the objections that I started a social flyer for the dress code a few weeks back. It started as an innocent way of my daughter coming to me and feeling concerned that she wasn't going to have a chance to be a pretty girl in high school. Mr. Bowling and Mr. Fisher immediately responded, became accessible to the community. 600 comments on that little thread was extremely humbling and extremely scary to try to manage. You can tell by my emotion right now, I'm kind of full of it, on several levels. But anyway, there's a few things that were brought up tonight that I think chlorine is such a, I have a lot of passion living here. I've been living in the community since '92. I have twin kids, both go to Chlorine High School. We're very proud of our school. There's a few concerns that came up last week, and I don't by any means want to become this torch-bearing guy marching in the square. That's not my intention. There is some safety concerns, some real safety concerns with the way Chlorine High School is secure during the day. They have to go through, again, social media, and again, I apologize for some conversations. My initial intent in coming here tonight was to see the results of the revised dress code school, which I thank you for listening to the community. I think it's important. I also feel bad for the folks from the yacht club with the way they feel that their property value is going to diminish based on the school district they're being. That's what the school they're being sold to. My wife and I are in the process of home buying, and we're in that market, and quite honestly, we're going to take that area out of our demographic. That's unfortunate about this township for great work. A lot of passion for your kids, and I love that. And Jeffrey, you're right, Northbrook has a page. I think it's so cool to see you guys all put such passion under each of the areas, and unfortunately, there's this stigma attached that comes with where you live within the township. That's part of what I navigated through this process with the Facebook group, is there's so much passion for each of everyone's kids. That's all over here. That's what you guys sit where you do. It all boils down to education. And you guys are doing a fantastic job. I think you're listening. I think that you're accessible by all means. The fact that you can stand and ask questions, I just can't do it. So for a few minutes, I appreciate it. Bottom line, I believe everything's like it, the best that can possibly be. Thank you for being accessible. Thank you for listening.
Pam, if you don't mind, we have as many concerns as he does for both our high school campuses. You have to leave the main building to go to the Career Center, so kids are outside constantly. We have to find something better. Chris is working with each principal. We had a meeting for the entire staff in the district, all 1,200 employees, to come and talk to us about safety concerns. Didn't get the turnout we wanted, but got some emails, got some turnout that were spot on for what we need to work on, so we are continuing to work on that. We are working on your, I'm sure, pretty much the same concerns.
That's a big area between
Yep.
Career Center and the main campus. Parents can walk right into the back anytime during the day, but you have to park out front to come in and secure the gate, which is great. Just put a fence up and lock the gate like the signs say. If you don't have staff to do that.
We've heard those ideas too. I agree.
I mean, the fence is already there, it's closing.
Yep.
That's a little matter.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you all for your comments and questions. At this time, we're going into board items or board member comments. Joe, do you have anything?
Yeah, I know both of those coaches from Northwest, the basketball coaches, the boys and the girls coach, and they're great. They're great guys.
Okay. Bob?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate all the students that were here tonight to receive their recognition, and the students that presented to us. They did a great job, and they're very, very much appreciated, and we're proud of them.
I want to thank you for your comment, ma'am, about when your child went from Beavis to Taylor. Anytime there's a ripple in our realities and in our world, there's always a lot of fear associated with it. But you know, if you a couple years outside of that, and you realize that a lot of good comes from a lot of that if you could overcome the fear. So I think tonight, watching these athletes and just the success of our entire school district, whether you're on the left side or the right side, the Colerain or the northwest side, it's a lot to be proud of. And I appreciate the community turnout tonight. Thank you very much for coming.
Jim?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming and voicing their opinion, and wanted to congratulate Mr. Fricker. Did a good job with the students. You know, there is more ways to learn than just, here's a test, take it. And then with Donnie Kelly with the construction class over at Northwest. I was over there actually last week, and those guys, you know, we're sitting there talking for 25, 30 minutes, and they're just right there just working, doing their stuff. And I mean, you can tell they're into it. And if you can get over there, check out this tiny house that they're building. It's pretty cool. And they do a good job and put in a lot of extra hours, you know, outside the classroom that they come and they do that. So kudos to them.
And I would just like to again thank everybody for coming. I know there were quite a few votes tonight that affected a lot of people, and that's why everybody's here. But just like Monica said, I too encourage you to continue to come. I mean, that's how you stay informed, and that's how we work together. I again can't thank you enough for your comment, because I struggle with some of this, because as we stood here and we watched all these kids, and if we really are here and we're really making it about the kids, we didn't ask one of these kids what their address was. There was a lot of successful kids up here, and it to me doesn't matter if they live on one side of Colerain Avenue or the other side of Colerain Avenue. We wouldn't have, as Todd mentioned, we look out for safety for our employees. We wouldn't have transportation in a place, in the office there, and the bus drivers there, if we felt that it was someplace that they weren't going to be safe to walk in and out of. We have a great staff at every one of our schools, including Taylor. So I understand the emotional piece of if your kids are at one school and then switch into another, that's hard. But just to remind everyone, the kids will go to their home middle school. So regardless of what happens elementary, they will still go back to, whether it's Colerain Middle, White Oak Middle, or Pleasant Run Middle. But I think the board did a great job with everything tonight. I love the dialogue. I encourage all of you, like I said, to come back anytime, any questions. We are going to move into executive session now. You are welcome to stay, but I will tell you, we're just going to come back. There aren't going to be any votes taken. We will just adjourn the meeting. But if you have anything else to do and just want to hang out here, you're more than welcome to. If not, be safe getting home, and hope to see all of you again.
So the superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the motion to move into executive session as listed.
So moved.
Second.
I did.